So today's video is all about you guys getting to know me. Even though I Snapchat all the time, I upload now on YouTube once a week, I feel like you guys don't know like the true me, the personal side of me, just you know, a look into my soul. You know what I'm saying? So this video is answering all those questions you guys asked me. So let's get started. So before I look at my list I made here, like I literally have a list of notes of all the questions I want to answer, I want to tell you guys about where I grew up and the whole shebang. I grew up in, well, I was born in the Bay Area. I actually was delivered by my dad. I know, it's one of those things where everyone in my family knows, but I don't tell a lot of people because it's just like, maybe because it's so personal, I don't know. But you know, I think you guys just deserve to know these like crazy little facts about me. My mom was in labor for 2 hours and they had to go from Berkeley to the city. So if you're from the Bay, you know you have to go over the bridge. They didn't make it, so they had to pull over on the Bay Bridge and my dad delivered me. I know. It's like one of those like crazy things that I think I just like take for granted because I've heard the story my whole life, you know? So sometimes I feel like I don't appreciate it as much, but yeah, my dad delivered me, so it's kind of like a cool little story. I feel like I was like 3, 4, 5. Maybe I was like 5 years old. We moved down to Southern California. We moved to Rancho Cucamonga, which is like 45 minutes to an hour outside of LA, 45 minutes with no traffic. And I grew up there. I went to elementary school all the way through high school in Rancho. So I'm a Southern California girl. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Anyway, so I'm just like over here being silly. So I grew up in the IE, the Inland Empire, which is like also Rancho Cucamonga. I know every city has like an area and a name, but basically Rancho Cucamonga. And yes, it's from next Friday. So after high school, I moved to Arizona. I went to Arizona State. While I was in school, I was working at Mac, and then I think I just got like sick of being Arizona, sick of being away from my family. Plus I wanted to do celebrity makeup, so I left Arizona, moved back to LA, and that's when I was working at Mac out here. And then I started freelancing, and then from freelancing I was like, F this, I'm not doing people's makeup anymore, and I just, you know, committed to being a beauty blogger. Boom. That's basically it in a nutshell. But I have a video called My Makeup Journey. You guys should check that out if you are like really curious about how I did the whole shebang, you know? I have an older brother, older sister, so I'm the youngest of 3. I have a niece and a nephew. So my oldest sister is the only one with kids. My brother doesn't have any kids. I obviously don't have any kids. And yes, I am single. I'm very single. I'm pretty much as single as they come. So if you have someone who's like single and then dating, it's like I'm the single one. Like I'm very single. It's just hard out here. Like LA is just, it's full of like a lot of people who want to be something that they're not, or pretend to be something they're not. Like I'm not trying to like come down on everyone that lives in LA because, you know, not everyone's the same, but it's just one of the most difficult places to date. I feel like when I do meet somebody, they usually don't even live here. So when I tell you the struggle is real, it is real. And then when you meet people out here, it's like they're boys. So boy is a guy who thinks he's fine, but also known as a buster. Just kidding. Having like a YouTube channel, being so independent, doesn't make it any easier. It's funny because like when my Instagram started popping, I was like, dang, maybe I'll finally meet somebody, you know? But it's made it worse because it's like, you know, people see you on Instagram especially, and they just judge you, you know, and it's just hard for people to kind of look past that. So that's the struggle I'm having right now. It's just hard, you guys. Like, it's really hard. A lot of people in the makeup world, I feel like they've been with their boyfriend, you know, or girlfriend, whatever, for a while now. And so it's kind of like they've grown into this blogger world together. And it's just, it makes it more difficult when you're single trying to meet someone, you know, and you have this huge platform. So that's just like the struggle I deal with like every day. And honestly, like when I meet guys, I try not to tell them about my Instagram account. I know, as crazy as that sounds, but I try not to. Like, I tell them I'm a beauty blogger and most people don't know what that means, and then we kind of go from there. And if they ask me about Instagram, like I'll be like, oh, okay, and like I'll try like to like talk about something else so I don't have to tell them, you know, because that's a whole nother issue. Like if the first question you want to know is like if I have an Instagram account, then that kind of says a lot about you. But I just know, like, I've literally been on dates with guys, and this may be like the second or third, and they've asked me about Instagram, and when they see my account, they kind of like, I can see them just like, you know, it's like judgment. It's like they're judging me, and then on top of that, it's probably like, there's like, okay, this woman is probably just a lot to deal with, which is fine, like they just aren't meant for me, but that's just a struggle of being single right now. But you know, I believe in love, and I feel like the right person is out there somewhere just waiting for me, you know. I mean, we'll see. And maybe I'll save the whole dating stories that I have for another video, because trust me, I have like some of the worst stories. But anyways, moving on. People don't ask me this all the time, but I get it every once in a while, and I get asked, what did I want to be when I was younger? And when I was younger, I wanted to be a veterinarian. I know, it's crazy. I mean, I wanted to like be an artist, like as I got older, but when I was like a little baby, I wanted to be a veterinarian because I love animals. You guys know I have Titus. He's like literally right down here, just like staring at me, waiting to go to sleep and start snoring. Like, I just know it. Come here, Titus. Come here, come here. This is Titus. I just like I love animals. Like, I love dogs, I just genuinely love animals. They're the most like loving, non-judgmental beings ever. Okay. So Titus is a year and some change. 12, 13. He's like he's like 16 months really, but he's a French bulldog. I know. And I actually saw a blue French bulldog when I was working at Mac. This couple came in and they had a puppy, and I like fell in love, and I told myself, like, if I ever could get a dog, like I would love to have that dog. So that's why I got him. Like, I just love like everything about French bulldogs. Like, when I see him in the street, I just go crazy. I'm like one of those people that'll freak out and be like, oh my god, I have one too, and I'll have like a whole conversation with somebody about their dog. So yeah, I'm one of those people. And no, he doesn't sleep in the bed with me, you guys. One time he peed in my bed, so ever since then, nope. Gotta go. But you guys probably hear him in every one of my videos. He literally snores. He falls asleep under me and snores in every one of my YouTube videos. Such a, look how cute he is. He's just like chilling right here in my neck. Would you boo? Say hi. He's over it. He just got neutered like a week ago, so yeah. Moving on now. Ooh, favorite shows. So I'm like really into reality shows. If you watch my Snapchat, you know this. I watch all the Housewives. I used to watch it because I liked watching the makeup and like just seeing how everyone does their makeup, because it's usually like pretty like glam. So I used to watch it for that, and you know, the drama is always like a little entertaining. I know I have like dog hair all over me. I love watching reruns of Martin. Like, I can watch reruns of Martin every day, all day. It's so funny to me. There's this show called How I Met Your Mother. Like, that's one of those shows I can watch on repeat. Or not repeat, I can watch reruns of. Lately I've been watching The Walking Dead, which it's getting a little too intense for me right now. It's the last season, or it's the season 7, I think, and it's pretty intense. Like, I'm kind of like low-key, like, don't want to watch the next episode, you know? I watch like Power, of course, but really it's like I'm all about that reality TV. Can't even lie about it. I guess let me talk about like weird things that I do. I'm obsessed with buying lotion. I don't know why. Every time I go to the store, I'll buy lotion. Like, I probably have like 10 small little hand lotions. Just like after I wash my hands, I have to have lotion because I do not want to be ashy. I think the whole reason behind that is like, I don't want to get caught slipping, you know, because you get the ash right here, and that's not cute. It has to be why, because I really can't, or I have like OCD or something. I don't know, but I'm like obsessed with lotion. There's lotion in my car. There's always lotion in my purse. Like, no matter what purse I have, there's lotion in it. There's obviously lotion in my bathroom. There's lotion, I have like a cabinet in my kitchen, and there's just like hand lotion there. I'm just like one of those weirdos. Let's see, what else? I get asked a lot about like confidence, about insecurities, about how I stay motivated. So I just want to touch on all of those subjects because it's just important. Okay, let me start with my fitness. Basically, you know, I started to gain weight, and I was just not happy with how I looked. I looked in the mirror, and I feel like I had that moment where I realized how I really looked. You know, I feel like when you're gaining weight, you kind of like tell yourself like, oh, it's fine, like you'll lose it. It's just a little bit of weight, and then a little bit of weight turns into a lot of weight, you know, which could be like 10 pounds, and 10 pounds in certain areas can be a lot, you know. So I just had like a moment of clarity, and I saw myself for what I actually look like, and I didn't like it. So once I could afford a trainer, I got one. And ever since then, the insecurity about my weight is going down, and my confidence is going up, you know? So that's one thing that I did to help myself become more confident. And I feel like once you figure out what you're insecure about, because sometimes people don't know, you know, and then you start to improve it, then your confidence will go right up. So my weight, you know, and that's something that doesn't happen overnight, you guys. Like, when people tell me like, oh, I lost all this weight in 2 weeks, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, okay, that might not be the healthiest way to lose weight, but to each their own, you know. When it comes to working out, getting fit, it takes like, I would say a good year to see like a complete transformation, you know, because it's easy to like work out for a little bit and then kind of like give up, you know, which you guys shouldn't do. I'm just saying it takes some time. I don't know, working out now, it's just like a part of my everyday routine, and it keeps me going. It's like, it's almost like having coffee in the morning for me, you know. Like if I don't have my workout session, like I'll feel kind of like groggy, and my energy will be low. So I love it, basically. Oh, another thing that I was insecure about were my teeth. So my teeth from far away were never bad, but they were crooked, they were yellow. And because my skin tone is darker, I feel like they didn't look as yellow, but they were yellow, and I couldn't bleach them because I had like calcium deposits. So I just had like a lot of issues with my teeth. And I feel like that was an insecurity of mine. So once I fixed that, which originally I was gonna do Invisalign, the doctor was like, listen, this is wrong, and Invisalign is probably not gonna be able to fix it. So I was like, okay, let's just do it. And I got my veneers, so I have 8, no, actually I have 11, because I went back and got more. I have the top 11 teeth done, and now it's like I can smile with confidence, so, yeah. So with that being said, it's easy to motivate yourself and then quickly kind of just lose all motivation, lose all just interest because you don't see progress. And you know, that happens to me too. That happens with work, that happens with my workouts. You know, I'll easily just become discouraged, and part of me wants to be like, okay, I'm just gonna like give up and stop. And you just have to tell yourself like, keep going, keep going. You know, when it comes to working out, if you feel like you've plateaued, you know, you have to incorporate a different workout into your routine. Maybe switch trainers, start spin class, which is what I did, which helps me. Start Pilates, add like a different form of working out into your routine, I should say. And that will prevent you from like feeling discouraged sometimes. And then when it comes to work, you know, I definitely get discouraged. Like I feel like this past week, ever since I got back from Bora Bora, I've just felt like drained. I felt down. I feel like my YouTube videos, like people aren't really like, don't care about it. Like really, I'm telling you guys, this is like really what I've been going through the past week, and part of me is just like, I feel like I'm just gonna like take a few weeks off. And then another part of me is like, you know what, it's okay, like this happens to everyone, just keep going. So I would say like, if there's any advice I could give to you guys when it comes to being discouraged and not being motivated, just keep going, because the people who keep going versus the people who stop, that's the difference between someone who's successful and someone who isn't. So I always remember that, like just keep going, like you don't want to quit now, you know. So I just try and like give myself pep talks, you know. So if, say for instance, I have a YouTube video, it doesn't do well, you know, I might be bummed about it at first. And when I say it doesn't do well, I mean like people don't watch it. You know, I'll be bummed at first, but it's like I have to tell myself like, just keep going. And I try and challenge myself to make my videos different, or to do maybe improve the lighting or the quality, or just get feedback from you guys. You just have to keep going, and you have to give yourself pep talks. I'm on prep talks. Yeah, that's how I stay motivated. And it's not easy. Like this isn't easy. It's not easy to feel down on yourself and then pick yourself back up, you know, but it's like you just have to, you know, give yourself those positive affirmations and keep going. I just like totally went on like a whole like motivational speech just now, but it's true. Hopefully it helps somebody. As long as like, if someone can watch my video and like it helps them in just even if it's just one person, like it makes the biggest difference. Like that's why I work out and I post my workouts on Snap every day, because I know that I've helped people to get on the right track when it comes to fitness, because you guys tell me, you guys Snapchat me, you guys tell me on Twitter, like I've lost this much weight and this much weight all because of you. So like that's like the biggest reward for me. You know, I get people telling me all the time, oh, you work out every morning, like, okay, I don't want to see that, I don't want to see that. And it's like, okay, well, this isn't for you, this is for the other person who is seeing my workout, and it's motivating them to be healthier. So that's just how I think about things, you know? I know I just like totally rambled on forever and ever and ever, but it needs to be said. So I don't get asked this question all the time, but it's kind of like, I don't know, I just wanted to answer it. So somebody asked me, if you could describe yourself in 3 words, what would it be? First, sassy. I have a mouth on me, you guys. Like I have a very like sarcastic mouth, and you'll either get it and you'll love it, or you'll be like, she's like kind of a bitch, you know? And it's like not me really trying to be bitchy, I'm just like sassy and I'm sarcastic, you know? And I have that like dry humor. So you either get it or you don't, you know? The second word would be determined. I've been through a lot. If you've seen my other videos, you know this. I've literally been able to be like, wow, I only have, you know, X amount of money, $10, $30 in my bank account, and I have bills and I need food. And so I've come a long way. That's why I say determined, because I never gave up, and now I'm here and I'm doing what I love. Oh, the third word is, what is the third word? I had to write it down. Oh, okay, so confident. So sassy, determined, and confident. And I say confident with pride because, you know, it takes a lot to recognize what you're insecure about, and then when you work towards improving that, you know, your confidence goes up, like I was telling you. But I'm like, I'm proud of that, because I just think, you know, a lot of people tell me that they don't have confidence, and I'm just happy that I was able to figure out the solution. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's like, obviously, like there's days where I don't feel as confident as others, but I think everyone can find out how to be confident, and when you do, it's a beautiful thing. Ooh, weird things about me. Well, that was one of them. I make crazy faces. I don't know if you guys realize it, but it's like I make the craziest faces, and it's like genetic. My dad does it. I have a lot of family members that just, you know what they're thinking because it's written all over the face, and I'm one of those people. I make crazy faces, I make crazy sounds and noises. All the noises you guys see me make on Snapchat, like I've been doing this my whole life, you know? And sometimes I don't realize I do it. And actually, I don't think I realized I did it as much as, or I made these weird noises until people on Snapchat started pointing it out, you know? Like when I open a package, I'll be like, ooh, like that's just like how I naturally respond to things, you know? Or like, sometimes like I'll be driving and I'll just be like, tuk, tuk, tuk. Like I just make weird sound effects. I'm like a living sound effect. Maybe that's what it is, I don't know. Oh, so my middle name, I feel like middle names can be personal, and I never talk about mine. So my middle name is Sion, which I hated when I was younger, just because I actually hated my name when I was younger, because I was very shy when I was younger. Very, very shy, to the point where like I wouldn't raise my hand in class. I know, can you guys believe that? Like I'd be like in class like this, like, I don't know if you remember like the first day of school when they call, like they do the roll sheet and they call your name and you have to be like, here. Like I literally would be like this, like, here, and then they would always mess up my name. And it's crazy because it's very easy. It's Shay and then La. Like it's very easy to pronounce, but growing up it was just like my worst nightmare because nobody knew how to say it, and I just felt like embarrassed about it. So it's just crazy that I was that shy, because I kind of just broke out of that. I feel like 3 years ago I broke out of being super shy. I mean, I wasn't like, I mean, I was just a little, I've always been like a little shy, you know? But 3 years ago, it's just kind of like, listen, you can't be shy anymore, okay? So back to my name. So first name Shayla, obviously. Middle name is Sion. So C-I-A-N. So Shayla Sion Mitchell. Yeah, there it is. I'm a Virgo, you guys know this. That explains the sass, okay? Virgos are very sassy, they're very creative, and they just don't even play around. You know, they got jokes for days, and they don't play. Oh, here's a like interesting, well this isn't interesting, but it's just like silly. I do not like watching scary movies because I live by myself and it terrifies me. I just think about like, have you guys seen the movie Psycho? It's like that old movie. My mom used to make me watch like all those old like, she used to make me watch old movies all the time, like black and white films, like just like hella old movies. So I don't know if you guys have seen Psycho, but there's like a scene where the girl is in the shower and then somebody comes like and stabs her through the shower curtain, and that's like my biggest fear. You know what I'm saying? Like I sleep with all my doors open, like every door is open. Like I don't want to see like the door cracked and there's darkness in there, because I feel like someone's like creeping in there, you know? I'll like check to make sure my door's locked like 15 times. Yeah, I'm like one of those people. And if I watch a scary movie, forget about it. Listen, I'm gonna be like shook. I'm gonna be in bed like with the covers like. So I do not like watching scary movies. No. Let's see here. What else do you guys want to know? Favorite color is purple. So just to touch back on my makeup journey, even though I have a video about it, I want to kind of go a little bit more in depth. When I moved back to LA and I was working at Mac, like I didn't have any money. All my work money went to bills, so I didn't have any extra income. So I started posting on Instagram because my manager at the time told me about it. She's like, oh, look at this girl on Instagram is doing all these people's makeup from Instagram and they're finding her on this. And I was like, what? So that's why I started posting, because I was like, I just want to get like a few extra clients a month and I'll be straight, you know? So I started posting on Instagram, and then my following started to slowly grow. And then it got to a point where I was being hired to do like reality TV, and my freelance jobs were just like taking over my life, and I didn't have time to work at Mac. So I had to make that decision. Okay, do I still work at Mac because this is like comfort, you know, it's like comfort zone right there, like I don't know, it's reliable work, or do I quit and just rely on myself to make it work? So it got to the point where I was full-time at Mac and I had to go down to part-time. And then once I went down to part-time, I went down to like once a week, and I couldn't even make those shifts. So I was like, okay, I have to do it. So I quit my job and I was freelancing full-time for about a year, I would say. And then I started blogging, you know, like companies, well, I wouldn't want to say companies, but I feel like you guys didn't really care about the makeup I was doing on my clients. You guys cared more about like what I was doing on myself. So I kind of just tuned into that, and you know, companies started to reach out and they wanted to send me products, and then yeah, that's how this whole blogging thing came about, and that's how I stopped doing makeup. Well, I should say stop doing makeup on clients, stop taking clients. So that's like my makeup journey, but I feel like just struggling to get on my feet has really like shaped me and just made me the person that, you know, that I am, because it's like I had to work really hard. I had to work, let's see, 8, 9, 10, 12, like sometimes like 15-hour days, like 3 or 4 days in a row, just to make ends meet. And I feel like when you go through that, it just makes you a little bit more determined and grateful. I don't know, it matures you a little bit too, you know? And it helps just shape your character, you know? Like I look back and I'm like, I don't regret the struggle days, you know? And I always tell you guys about this, like I've told you this story on Snapchat so many times, but if you're a new subscriber or if you just started following me on Snapchat, you probably haven't heard it, but you know, listen, I struggled and I made it out, and if I can, so can you guys. No, but for real, you can. So that's the message I want to get across. I feel like I've made my point. I'm literally gonna have to do like a couple of these, like get to know me, because I feel like I'm a talker and I don't want these videos to be like 30, well, it's probably gonna be 30 minutes. I don't want it to be like an hour long, you know, of like getting to know me. So I'm definitely gonna have to do like get to know me part 2, you know? Or maybe I'll do like some like story time. You know, this is the beginning of YouTube for me, you guys. Like, it really is the beginning. I don't have a lot of videos, and you guys are witnessing the beginning. That was stupid. Why did I say that? Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you got to get to know me just a little bit better. Don't forget to watch me on Snapchat. I'm a snapper. I snap every day. Hit me up on Twitter. All my socials are at MakeupShayla, so it's easy to find me. And I'll see y'all next time. Oh, last but not least, strut and slay.